So I wanted to share an interesting conversation I had with an AI system, and it really got me thinking about how we all process emotions differently. And then it further had me think about how it ties into those classic scenarios of when someone just wants to be heard and listened to, and the other person wants to automatically solve the problem. Then, while having this thought, it then reminded me of a philosophical quote that helps you realize similarities within things. So I asked the AI what comes first, feelings or emotion? And those are different. The AI initially disagreed with my way, saying that emotions are recognized first. Now, I have a different take. I believe most people tend to do the other way. Not saying that everyone does it this way, but I believe that feelings tend to happen first before emotion. What made me think of this are those instances where maybe someone says something to you and you instantly feel that knot in your chest. That is a physical embodiment of emotion. So you feel it, then that brings forward your emotion that is hard to then bundle back up. Then, from experiencing that, you then can name the emotion that you have. So we went back and forth a couple times and came to the conclusion that both directions do make sense. That it just comes down to how people interpret and approach emotional situations differently. Now, here's how it all connects. If we think about that scenario that I gave earlier about someone approaching another with a problem, and then that other person just wants to give a solution right away, whereas the first person is not necessarily avoiding it and is not just trying to complain, but they want to be heard first, most likely because they want to understand what they are feeling first before they try to solve the issue. In my mind, that scenario and then the other thing I was talking about parallel each other pretty similarly. The other scenario or framework being what happens first. You feel something, or is it an emotion that you have that you recognize, and then you kind of feel it and decide how you feel about it? Some of us just want to process the emotion, just like how I was saying to that AI, and some of us just want to jump straight into solving the problem. It is just two different ways of approaching the same emotional experience. Okay, so now the best part, philosophy. Please tell me you know this guy, Musashi. One of my favorite quotes in life in general comes from him, which is, if you understand the way broadly, you'll see it in all things. This is how I was able to take those two seemingly different subjects, but then find a similarity and then link the two. But it also just expands into understanding the emotions in general and then recognizing